Hey YouTube, this is Boogie Panda and I'm presenting the second episode of Ask Boogie, the series where you, the viewers, can ask me questions that's Perfect World related. Now, on to the first question. It's from Any Good Names Left. He asked, don't you think playing PWI private servers offer better PWI experience because they have better battles and I guess the gears are more equal? I would love to see you playing Epic PWI or Storm PWI. Now, a lot of people have actually been asking me why don't I play on private servers if basically what I do in PWI is basically PvP. I log on for PvP and I hardly ever take part in any PvE activities. So the reason that I don't play on the unofficial servers is because of a few reasons. Firstly, I have played other MMOs where I played on the private servers, and the private servers is so badly managed that the admins, like, you might think having perfect world GMs is bad, but the admins there are like actively destroying the servers rather than just doing nothing. So that's one thing I really disliked. I also find that on private servers, the people don't really know how to PvP because you log onto a private server within 1 hour, you got the max gear, max level, max skills, etc. And the people who go on there don't know what to do with that gear or the level. I find most of the people on private servers are the level 85 assassins who got tired of Perfect World International, the official servers, and then roll on to a private server to see if endgame PvP offers anything. So that's another reason I don't find private servers attractive. Now for the third reason, which is probably the most important reason, is that there's no real sense of achievement on private servers. Part of the fun of PvPing on a MMO is the QQ. In private servers, they're on the QQ about you're overgeared than my, oh my god, gank, etc. and stuff like that, and I just don't find PvP in that form entertaining. I mean, yes, you get QQ about ganks and overpowered classes, and I guess stuff like that, but I don't think everyone having exactly the same gear makes the game boring. If I wanted to play a balanced PvP game, I'll probably log on to Battlefield 3 or a similar shooter to have a good time. Perfect World is not a game that I play for skill-based PvP. If I wanted a game that demonstrates skill, I'll play a shooter or something like that. So yeah. The second question today comes from Byakugan1, and he asks, what would you choose for an archer in PvP? A grade 16 Nirvana bow or grade 15 Nirvana bow with purge? I like the purge, but I also like the plus 40 attack levels, but I can't choose. Well, I would always recommend for archers to go rank 9, because that bow has plus 30 attack levels, as well as advanced purge, which has twice the proc rate of normal purge at 8% rather than the 4% of normal purge. But I realize that's not an option for some people. Maybe you just don't want to spend that much on an archer. Maybe it's an ult, or you just don't have the money. But yeah, if we're discarding rank 9 out of the options, which is, to be honest, is the best option that an archer could choose, deciding between a grade 16 and grade 15. Now, what I always say is that an archer without purge is not as deadly, but an archer without an attack level on their weapon at the same time, in mod PvP in 2013 now, they're gonna have a really hard time killing anyone, and an archer is not a support class, so I'm gonna have to go with the grade 16 just because you can kill more people with it. Yes, purge helps a lot in PvP, but if you're playing an archer as a support class, you're doing it wrong, and you shouldn't be attacking people for the sake of purging. You should be attacking people for the sake of killing. Now, while grade 15, once it purges, probably deals around the same damage, if a little bit higher than the grade 16, the grade 16 bow will consistently deal more damage than the grade 15. I would say overall you're gonna have a much better experience in PvP with a grade 16 bow that cannot purge rather than a grade 15 bow that can purge but doesn't have the attack levels to follow up your to kill the enemy after you purge. Changing the topic slightly, with a question from GameOver3842. He asked me, Sage or Demon Wizard? Well, that question depends what. I think for PK that Demon Wizards are still better, if lack of a better word, and for TW, Sage is preferred. But yeah, I mean, it depends how you want to play, really. I mean, the reason I think Demon is better for PK is because of the Demon's control skills. Demon Stone Rain has a 20% chance to stun. Demon Amber Storm has a 50% chance to stun. Demon Hailstorm increases the freeze chance to 50%. And Stone Barrier, the Demon version, increases physical defense to 150% instead of 120% for Sage and 100% at level 10. So I think for small or 1v1 PvP, Demon Wizard has the upper hand because they're able to hold down an opponent. They have higher physical defense, which in a small or 1v1 PK situation you're gonna benefit from because you'll be more focused. However, in TW, the Wizard will be less focused because they're just more people, so 80 versus 80, and a Wizard is standing at the back, so they will get targeted less. They'll only get targeted by other ranged DDs, and probably only archers at that, because other Wizards tends to target other classes. And Sage Wizards also have better chi gaining abilities and better ultimates, such as Blade Tempest, Mountain Seas, and Black Ice Dragon Strike. The famous Sage Black Ice Dragon Strike gives a 50% chance to increase crit rate by 30% for the next 10 seconds. That stuff is deadly in TW, and especially when combined with the Sage's chi gaining abilities from their Pyrogram and their Master Lees, it just becomes deadly because they can use their ultimate attacks so often. However, that's not to say that a Demon Wizard can't function well in TW and a Sage Wizard can't function well in PK. It's just, I think the Demon Wizard has a slight upper hand in small scale and 1v1 PK, and the Sage Wizard has a small upper hand in TW and bigger scale PvP. So at the end of the day, it's really up to you. Do you prefer a more consistent style of playing and having chi on your hand, or do you prefer a more chance-based gameplay with increased critical rate and a chance to stun or freeze your opponent? So it's really up to you which one you prefer. The final question comes from Loligi PWI, who asked, are you going to stay Demon or go Sage Archer? Now, if you have been following and watching my videos, then you probably know a while back when the new patch got pushed out, I did a commentary on the Archer skill changes, and I basically concluded that the Sage Archer, they probably buffed it too far. Does that mean I want to play a Sage Archer? I don't know. I mean, the thing with the Sage Archer now is that they have a 5-second range stun and a 100% chance to boost your crit rate by 20% from their quick shot. So it is very, very tempting to play a Sage Archer. The two skills I use the most, arguably the Sage version is better. On top of that, Sage Archers have better chi gaining abilities from their quick shot and their Master Lees and Lightning Strike and various other skills. So if I played a Sage Archer, I'd have more chi on my hands, and trust me, I use a lot of chi in PvP, so that would be very beneficial to my style of play. However, I would very much miss the Demon quick shot. If I were to switch to Sage, I'd probably have to get Windshield on every single one of my genies just to make up for the lack of quick shot, Demon quick shot rather. And I don't like that because A, it takes up a genie slot, and B, it overrides my evasion buff. I know the evasion buff doesn't really matter, but I'm slightly OCD about having like self-buffed at all times, so I don't like the prospect of that. And also, I kind of like my Demon Barrage a lot, and that's one of the most deadly skills in TW, and the Sage Barrage is arguably a lot worse than the demons. So yeah, I'm probably not gonna go Sage just now. I'm probably still gonna stay Demon, but maybe after I max my gears out, when Sage benefits my archery even more, I might consider switching to Sage. But for the moment, no. If you guys have any further questions that you would like to ask me in one of the future episodes of Ask Boogie, please post a comment below or send me an inbox message, and I'll hopefully be able to feature it in a future episode of Ask Boogie. Thanks for watching, and I'm signing off.